Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. No, I'm not advertising for Adidas or anything. It's just that the cat likes this box. And now, as you can tell, the cat is very tired because it worked very hard today, as cats always do. The ones who have cats, they know how hard the cats work all day. So, what's going on here? I got an article from CNN and I'm using them for, I don't know, analysis purposes. Analysis not necessarily of what they say is true or not. That's settled. But about the US intelligence, they make a report on the US intelligence. So the US intelligence, which for me personally are not at a zero credibility. They are at negative 2,349 negative credibility. That's where they are, and I don't think they could redeem themselves in my lifetime. Even if I would live, 500 years, I don't think, because so much garbage they said and they did that really, they do some good things as well, obviously, but the bad things that they at least that did it for me, the finals, how should I put it, the last drop was the Iraq garbage and lie. That was it. I mean, I already knew before that how they act and so on, but that for me it was like, really? And you destroyed countries because of that with your intelligence. So anyway, we have here another example why I personally, and I suggest others, should be not skeptical. From the very beginning, zero credibility for this kind of guys. CNN promotes a percentage of Russian troops that were destroyed since the beginning of the garbage that occurs in Ukraine for interests that we're not supposed to point out to. So let me show you the title and then analyze the garbage. So CNN, it is from today, December 12, 2023. Russia has lost 87% of troops it had prior to start of Ukraine war, according to US intelligence assessment. So the US intelligence assessment that, as I said, I personally don't trust anything they tell me. They said Russia has lost 87% of the troops it prior had to the invasion. 87. Well, my problem is not with the 87. My problem is with this. Okay, now that you know that, can you tell me how many the Ukrainians lost? What percentage? And if not, then fuck you. The same with the mass media. My problem is not with these guys coming and giving numbers. My problem is with people hiding something and giving you this for, how should I put it, to push a narrative. And here, obviously, the US intelligence's push is towards or against the Russians. Now, for me, as an American, I don't care about the Russians, I don't care about the Ukrainians. So my intelligence community should tell me what's the percentage of Ukrainian troops since the beginning. But they don't tell. And okay, you say that's the intelligence services. Okay, that's the attitude of the State Department, which is owned by the same groups behind, and the politicians, which you know how they are. So they do whatever they want with us. I got that. But we're supposed to trust the mass media, right? Mass media, free media, the world free media. My problem is I haven't heard any CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, New York Times, Fox News, none of this, the mainstream corporate media, none of this told me yet how many Ukrainians died. Do you think that they don't know it? Do you think that the US intelligence doesn't know it? I think they both know it, the US intelligence and the US mass media. My issue is, how come these guys keep quiet? I mean, it's like in an army, when you give an order, the order is fulfilled, it's like right there. When you have someone going off, what's going on? You court-martial that person, right? And whatever, you put him in jail, insubordination and so on, order not respected and so on. So it seems like the mass media here functions like an order given. Because if in a free world with really free mass media, you would have investigative journalists go in and breaking the news. They would be famous. The first investigative journalist that would break the news and say, okay, 329,000 Ukrainians died since the beginning of the war. That guy will be famous forever. He's going to be the first one to break a news that they know it. They know it. They must know it. If United States intelligence assessed the enemy, the evil Russians, how many they lost, they don't know their allies, click, supposedly allies. They know. So they don't leak it. I mean, it's leaked. It's known. It's just that we are not supposed to know it. So that tells me not necessarily the US intelligence, as I said, 2,949 negative, but the mass media. If you think that the mass media, they don't know the number, they know it the Russians, but they don't know it the Ukrainians, that tells you those are not working for you to inform you. They're over there to push a narrative. And the narrative is not yours because they don't inform you. That means what? You don't need to know. Why? Because someone else said so. That means they don't work for you. It's pretty obvious. So people who still watch CNN, I know people who watch CNN. I do know people who watch CNN. What can I do? They function in little short accusations. Like, let's say, Putin is bad. And when you say why, everybody knows Putin is bad. This is the argument. Okay, but how do everyone know that Putin is bad? Why? Do you think Putin is good? You know, this is the way these guys argue. They make a statement. You ask them, okay, what's your evidence? And then immediately they try to say, what do you mean? You're bad because they determined that guy is bad. You're bad because you asked me a question to prove to you that the guy is bad. We all know. How we know? CNN told us. And then another thing. You think you know more than CNN? Well, I don't know if I know more than CNN, but I'm pretty sure I'm smarter than CNN and I am honest. And CNN is not. So I think these two things should help you, have a decent conversation with me based on someone who gives you certain kind of narrative. But it's too deep for a lot of people, this kind of conversation, which is not deep, but for them is deep. And it's too hard to have this conversation, and everything ends up with you're bad and I'm good. Okay. And by the way, they vote. So again, they tell you what is the assessment, but they don't tell you what's the assessment on the other side. I'm looking here. Russia is lost, They know, see? The classified US intelligence assessment. I would like to see the declassified US intelligence on the Ukrainians. I mean, it's not like we are at war with Russia, are we? So what's the problem here? They're not our allies. We don't have any treaties. We don't have an alliance with them. There are no treaties signed between us. So they are as everyone else, including Russia. But Russia is our adversary, enemy, because they can smack us. But Ukraine cannot smack us. Therefore, obviously, Russia has... So I'm looking here and I don't see any... They give us some information here. Of the 360,000 troops that entered Ukraine, including contract and conscript personnel, Russia has lost 315,000. So you see, they know the numbers, man. But how come we don't know the Ukrainians? Again, they consider that we should not know. And the mass media is with them, not with us. Is it national security? Now it says here on the battlefield, according to assessment, 2,200 of 3,500 tanks. Okay, I'm not going to read this one. Anyway, I'm looking here. I don't see anything on Ukraine. Again, Russia suffered in Avdiivka, but nothing with the Ukrainians. So, yeah, these guys know everything about those guys, but not about us. Remember, if United States of America would say, well, our intelligence tells us that this amount of Ukrainians died, would it be a national security for us? No. Maybe it would be for some others that don't want anyone to know. It's very interesting that we know how many losses the Russians had, but not Ukrainians. I don't know. I mean, unless I really dig somewhere in the Russian blah blah statements, I might find it. But the free world, the free mass media, did not tell me, protect me from my own good, right? Or from my own getting harmed or something. So again, I made this video just for the CNN, US intelligence, and that's it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.